Good morning, folks. Hey. I'm your host, Matt Morgan. Thanks for tuning in to Car Musings. How's everybody doing today? It is another day, another dollar, so to speak. You know, I hope everybody's checking their integrity. I hope everybody's doing well, because the reality is that world's a crazy place, as we all know, and with all the wondrous things that are going on now, it makes you wonder. I guess the biggest question I have today is this: is that hey, what is everybody doing for work? This is what I'm wondering. Now, I know some people are kind of safe in their little communities and everything else, and aren't really affected by the outside world. They've had a job forever, working for the same company, and they're pretty much part of the foundation of that company, so they're not going anywhere. But then I see other people that it's just like the shifts of change, and tides are changing, and this is changing, and that's changing, and you know the bottom line is that big corporations are, let's be real, they're fucking greedy. They're fucking greedy bastards. Somebody's lining their pockets at the top. They don't care about everyone that's below. I mean, it's almost cliche, but it is a reality too, that that's just sadly the way it goes. I mean, you call it cliche, yeah, you can call it cliche, but it's absolutely stupid about how much it is a reality. Sadly, on how it is. Like, I've yet to actually come across a big company that has not disrupted people's lives and fucked them up. Name me a company that hasn't done that. There's very far and few between. You're gonna find big companies are big companies because they've done that. They've gotten rid of people for profit. Now, don't get me wrong, doing the shift needed in situations where you have to get rid of those bad apples, those lazy SOBs, those ones that frankly is undesirables that you don't want to keep around, and sometimes you got to play the game in order to get rid of them, and that's fine, but not when you're, you know, doing the hardworking family guy girl or whatever. That in that case it's freaking wrong. Like, really look at your audience on who you're showing the door to. It makes somebody come bitter, and when shit gets tough, it makes people want to do drastic stuff because they know where they're putting that bullseye. They already have fixated in their head who they're blaming for shit. I know I have my blame on who I'm blaming. I know who my targets are on. But will I act on them? No, because they're not worth my time to cost my life and my freedom. But there are assholes out there that, frankly, yeah, I've had those fantasies about fucker. You are the reason that my life got disrupted. You are a cocksucker. Like, let me think of all the million and one ways I want to pay you back for you know, you being an asshole. But you don't. You persevere. You move forward, because what's that going to get you? It comes down to that whole lesson we learn when we're teenagers of cause and effect. Hopefully, we learn them sooner versus later. You ask yourself, if I do this and this is the outcome, how is it beneficial? You start thinking about that and you're like, huh, that doesn't really seem beneficial. I'm going to get that temporary sense of satisfaction, or that temporary sense of, huh, oh, this is good. This is good. I feel good about this. Oh, yeah, this is so amazing to be able to be in this particular situation. But at the end of the day, you're like, and it's fleeting. It's fleeting. It really is. You know, you think of all the nasty stuff that's breaking out of your character, and it really isn't going to give you much in the end. No, it's going to cause you more problems and potentially cost you, a lot. So you move forward, and I did. In fall of 2023, lost a job. Um, And yeah, I blame the company. Greedy bastards. Like, there's no reason for it. There was absolutely no reason for them to do what they did other than greed. And they didn't really care. No options. I think the best employer I ever had gave me options and basically didn't want to see me unemployed. And even to this day, that person I have such a respect for. But yeah, I mean, talk to your people before you start showing them the door, and see what their feeling is, and see whether or not something could be worked out. You know, companies are so quick to axe people because, of this, that, and everything else. Versus, why don't you just sit down with these people and say, hey, can we come to some sort of compromise here? Can we come to some sort of middle ground? Hey, I would like you to keep your job a little longer. I would like you to be able to have some sort of income. Um, what can we do? And I'm pretty sure you will find that there are people out there that be willing to take a pay cut versus a job cut. It's a reality. It's a reality. Now, fast forward into today's world, the way it is, it's like, what the hell? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I tried doing the other job, my own business and everything else, but everybody's scared. Everybody's not spending, you know, and it's just one big freaking rat race. And then even if you are qualified for a position, you don't meet the correct demographic. You don't have the right color. You don't have the right this. You don't have the right that. It's like, really? Hang on for 1 second. I'm qualified. Actually, I'm overqualified. But you're telling me that I don't have a good enough tan or from a certain part of the freaking world. Oh, well, equal opportunity. Well, fuck equal opportunity. I was born and raised here. And I'm not trying to sound racist, but this is going to come down to a race war. It is going to just fuel the fires of anger and hatred, because there's going to be your classic Caucasian white person. I know I don't really like throwing colors in there, but when the world is saying, "Oh, well, you're not dark enough to be able to get this job," people are going to look at that going, "Huh, so you're telling me because it's something I cannot change, you're going to deny me having a job." Okay, now I'm frustrated. I'm scared. I need money. I need this. I need that. And you're telling me that I can't have this because of that. That's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, I'm not going to buy this whole, you know, situation. And you're going to get pissed off. You're going to get pissed off. And who are you going to put the blame on? You're going to blame the system. You're going to blame the people that are getting these jobs. Um, because it's them that were screaming about it, and now it's only them that gets the jobs. Guess what? That's going to cause tension. That's going to cause anger. That's going to cause friction between the masses. That's going to cause more violent violence. You don't understand. This is not a solution. Companies should not be bowing to, oh, well, you have to hire this many of this many of that, this many of this. Bring it. Let's pull it back a bit. Let's pull it back a bit. How about who's the best candidate for the job? Who has the best understanding of the way things work? Who has the best understanding and the moral code? This is all stuff that needs to be kept in consideration. And that's the thing that pisses me off. You should not be hiring people based on a checklist of shit because the government says you should be doing that. You should be hiring based on a lot of factors, namely, are they a good person? Can they do the job? Are they the best qualified? Etc., 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 etc. Not giving people an excuse because they fit the checklist of what the government wants, because of all these screaming, whining people that are leaving wherever they're from after they've already fucked up their countries, and they're coming to civilized countries like Canada and bringing their problems with them, and then they expect fucking handouts. This is not fucking Disneyland, you cocksuckers. This is my country. This is my city. This is something I helped put together. This is something I helped grow. You're going to fucking come here and you're going to think you're going to fucking rule the roost, you're going to bring your problems, and you're going to try to control stuff? Hell no. Hell no. Yeah, this is going a little beyond the job market, but yeah, if you fuckers think you're going to make cabinets in these cities, in these countries, to be able to run things, you got another fucking thing coming. Because people will take up arms. Just like you would if the roles were reversed. So think about that for 1 second. Think about that one. You're an invading force. That's going to be removed. So let's look at the job market again. I don't understand it. And I'm seeing a trend. I am seeing all these people. This is the funny part. Okay? All the people who are not Caucasian, guess what? No jobs. Can't find jobs. Now, these are really talented people. These are really talented, skilled, educated, smart people. And they can't find a job? Hell, these are people that I somewhat consider smarter than me. And they can't find a job? Not because of my lack of effort. Not because I'm a lazy SOB. It has nothing to do with whether or not I'm making the effort. It's literally having to do with the fact is this is the way the world is right now. So if you have a job, consider yourself freaking lucky if you have a job. Furthermore, if you have a job and you're Caucasian, consider yourself damn lucky. It's sad but true. Sad but fucking true. It shouldn't be that way, folks. It should not be that way. Like, at all. You know, when I hear these cocksuckers, like this stupid, excuse my language, I'm going to be pretty foul on this because I'm pretty passionate about this one. Some stupid cunt that gave me some freaking seminar about this, that, and everything else, and how to be successful like she is. Spouting off her fucking big mouth like about, what was it, talking about white privilege and all that crap. I'm like, what do you mean fucking white privilege? Fuck you and your white privilege. There is no white privilege. That is a thing of the past. You know, really got to think about that one. That is the thing of the fucking past, my friends. Don't start spouting out fucking white privilege. There is no privilege for whites anymore. And the fact that you have to say make a racist comment like white, bringing it down to color, is pretty fucking pathetic. So, you know, educate. Check yourself before you wreck yourself, because you're sounding like a friggin' moron, you know, making such references. Oh, this, that, and everything else. Okay, that's great. So what, you're just going to turn the tables? Okay, and you think it's going to be much better? I don't see the world getting better with this push you're making. How is the world getting better? The world's not getting better. You're going to have the same results on the other side. And I'm not saying, you know, oh, well, this, that, and everything else. You're still going to have the same problems. You're just going to have the opposite. Instead of a whole bunch of freaking pissed off tan people, you're going to have freaking pissed off white people. There should be no pissing off in the first place. Even when it was either way, either direction, whoever you thought had more power. Okay? It doesn't make a difference. Everybody should be treated equal. Everybody should be given equal opportunity. You can't hold it against me if the rest of the world didn't want to play ball. Okay? So why should I be condemned when I'm trying to earn an honest paycheck? When I'm trying to feed my family, pay my bills and everything else, and be a good law-abiding citizen with integrity? But yet, I'm being punished for something that I didn't do anything wrong in? You see what I'm saying? Like, that's what I just find is freaking stupid. So now you try to find a job, and they look at your name. They look at your name, and then they meet you at the interview, and it comes down to, Everything else, namely the fact, is that you are the wrong color. Which, in my opinion, is fucking sad. You're the wrong color for the job. What difference should that fucking make? Anyways, welcome to the world. And finding jobs these days, they say, oh, well, blah, 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 blah. Okay, but you can blah, 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 blah all you want. It's not happening. It's not happening. Like, I'm still looking for work. And I have the freaking creds to say, listen, I got this, I got that, da 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 da. But what's it worth? It's worth freaking nothing. And it's just pathetic because it's like, you know, once upon a time you're in a position where you have all this stuff going on, you know, you have all this friggin', you work hard to have a clean record, you work hard to be successful in the sense that you don't break the law, your background check works out, you do everything by the book, wholesome life, family, clean records, like everything, you know, in a matter of security, in a matter of, you know, being a good law-abiding citizen, and yet you still can't find a job. But yet there's people with criminal records that are actually getting jobs because of their fucking skin color? Are you fucking kidding me? They have a rap sheet, okay, of whatever. And it's like, okay, but you're going to give them a fucking job. You know? But yet I can't get a job. And I've kept my nose clean. I've kept my nose clean. I've done the right thing. I have clearances up the wazoo. I fucking lived a wholesome life. I'm the one that you could trust with your whole entire fucking company at the end of the day. But because of some fucking stupid ruling to actually supposed to help the, you know, the downtrodden, and I understand that and I support that. But no, you have opened up the door to fucking hooligans, gangbangers, problem makers, don't understand the way the society works, don't understand the way shit works. And I'm not saying across the board, because there are some good people from other places in the world, and that's great. And I embrace them, and I think they're great. I think they're awesome, and they're some of the best people I've ever met. Again, though, shouldn't be closing the doors to everybody else because of whatever. And that's the thing that pisses me off. Okay? So, if you have a job, great. If you're a decision maker, this is a request I'm going to make for you. If you are a decision maker that does hiring, change your company's policies. Jobs should be available to help people out, to get them working, to this, that, and everything else. But a job should be given to the person. Doesn't matter if they're what color they are, doesn't matter what sex they are, shouldn't anything of that matter whatsoever. The person that's qualified for the job, and the person that can do the job, and the person that's the good fit for the job and the company and everything else should be getting the job. Nothing else should be, but nothing else should be a factor. Nothing else should be a factor. Not sex, not age, not friggin' skin color, not friggin' this, not friggin' that. None of it else should matter. None of it. It should be the best person for the job. So if you're in a decision-making process, even if you're governments, change the rules, change the policy, change the stupid ideas that have been put out there. Like, it's so stupid. So now I'm in a position where I'm looking for work. And I've been looking for work, let's be realistic, since I got laid off. back in 2023. Trying to make ends meet, investing into opportunities that potentially could, you know, be somewhat good, some sort of future there, but not happening. You know, I was convinced that starting my own business, dealing with people, would be friggin' the way to go, but nope. It's kind of you're kind of subjected to, you know, the thought processes of the rest of the world at that point. When you have to seek out clients, when you have to seek out people, when you have to convince people, hey, you're hard-earned money. I know times are tough right now, but I want you to spend it on my idea, my service, my this, my that. You know, it's just one of those things. Okay, so before I go babbling in a different direction, listen, folks. I don't know where a lot of you fuckers are getting your money from, and I don't know how a bunch of you are getting your jobs. But if you have a job, damn well appreciate it, because it's really difficult to get work out there. The older you get, as well, makes it difficult. And you know, let's try to help each other out there. Let's try to help each other. Let's genuinely try to help each other with just the satisfaction of knowing that you help somebody. That should just live with that satisfaction. If you're able to help somebody, you know, have a meaningful life, meaningful employment, meaningful, you know, endeavors, just help them. Like seriously, just help each other, folks. The world's a rough place at times, but it doesn't have to be. If we all work together, we all cooperate, and we all try to actually build each other up versus tear each other down. Amazing where we can go, but we all have to get on board on this. Anyways, I'm your host, Matt Morgan. Thanks for tuning in to Car Musings. Keep your integrity in check. Thanks for tuning in today. I'm going to sign off for today. I think I've had enough at this point. I've had enough. Because I have to go in and look for a job again. Keep putting out resumes. Keep trying to figure out what the frick I'm doing wrong. Because something's going on. Something's going on, and I got to figure out some sort of solution. Because you know, I shouldn't be in this position. I shouldn't be. And here I am. So, and by the way, stop by themadmorgan.com if you could. If you're, you know, if you have more than you need and you can help out, please, you know, check out the donations. Help us out to help me out, my family, and everything else. Send a few bucks our way. We'd appreciate that. Keep us afloat. We're in the red at this point, and we're trying not to lose it all because I have a daughter I'm trying to get through school and really make her succeed. So I really want to not be the boat anchor that's going to bring her future down. I still want to do my parental responsibility to give her the life that she deserves to have with how hard she's working. So, you know, it's not your problem. I understand that, but you know, there are some decent individuals out there, you know, donations or tell people about us, share the show, you know, get the word out. I appreciate that. Anyways, I'm your host, Matt Morgan. Love you. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you next episode. Bye until next time.